Toby Gale and Zadia Vrajkal on the front row. Their teammates, Alex Machado and Kai Burke, behind them. Next up, Andrea Galimberti beside Dominic Setyevan and Stefano Padani alongside Jamie Ambrose. Rounding out the top 10, it's the Korean star Kwon Tak beside Singapore's Danish Chen. Then Conrad Garrow beside Ethan Teoh, Singapore versus Malaysia. Wadapong Yamchan versus the reigning champion, Yukat Po, only B14. Then Travis Teoh alongside Leonardo Mori. Behind them on the 9th row of the grid, Zach Casagrande and Mika Slabbert. Then Paco Miguel Sarmiento alongside Tianlun Chen. Outside the top 20, oh, we've got a problem, it's Seta Kojima. Seta Kojima is stopped out on the circuit. James Lee, Kwon Jun, Dylan Tan and Rafael Kamala next on the grid. Behind them we've got Ayan Marwa and Ryan Gunavordana from Daniel Shilinkov and Andy Barrett. And there's definite problems for Seta Kojima, who should be starting alongside Xiaomo Xuan. She's going nowhere. Thomas No will be alongside Zachary Boyce, and then Aidan Forbes, Beiji Yuk, Melvin Shane and Jenny Bibinet. But sadly, one of the ladies in the grid is already out of it. Seta Kojima with mechanical problems. We'll never know how the Japanese ace would have fared. But the only lady to take a victory in the 2025 season will sadly be going no further in this final in 2026. She's done a great job in her first senior weekend, but the final, we'll never know. So now it's time for the drivers to roll back into contention for this fabulous race as we battle on. The last race of the weekend. And so the drivers getting themselves into position, ready for an exciting showdown and a brilliant showcase. Still Toby Gale and Zadia Vrajkal running a solid race from the front. But are they going to battle away for victory, or will all sorts of drama and pandemonium come through? We will have to see how it all plays out, but certainly for the time being, this is the race that everyone came to see. If you're watching at home on the YouTube stream, get a good seat, but I promise you, you'll only need the edge of it. Gale, Vrajkal, Machado, Burke, Galimberti, Setyevan, Badani, Ambrose, Kwon, Chen, Garrow, Teoh. We're racing in Senior X30. Off we go to the first corner, and Gale has the advantage. Here comes Machado, breaks through in front of Vrajkal, and he's going to go for the lead to try and work his way through, but Gale is wise to it. He holds his nerve and keeps the lead through the first couple of apexes as the field goes through turn 3. It's very tight, it's very close, and there's a little bit of contact and a pirouette around for the 210. That is disaster for James Lee. So James Lee goes around, he manages to rejoin, but that's very much a compromise of his race, as Toby Gale is absolutely determined. He's not going to let Alex Machado get through. Machado, round the far side, keeps his foot in and leads. Oh my goodness, the Andorran absolutely savages Gale round the outside in the hairpin, and Alex Machado leads. Fantastic. Third position, chasing down Gale, is Galimberti. We've got yellow flags into the barriers. Who's that that's gone? It's Jamie Ambrose. Ambrose has gone as Galimberti gets ahead of Toby Gale. Oh my word. Galimberti gets past Gale as they battle for second position. So Toby Gale now dives back on the inside of Galimberti. Galimberti tries to hold it right round the outside. They lock wheels. Galimberti saves his bacon. What an amazing start to this senior final as Gale now tucks back over the curbs, and Gale's got him. Gale gets back in round the outside of Galimberti. What a start. And look who's in P4. It's Stefano Padani. Stefano Padani has crept up to 4th position in front of Dominic Setyevan. What an incredible race this is turning out to be already, as Machado has got himself in front. Well, for some reason, Padani's transponder is being a little bit sluggish, but he is running it. Oh, 4 carts involved in that one. All of them together up at the far side of the course, and that is a big disaster for several men in the field. That is Mika Snabbert, Kwon Jun, Brian Gunnar Bordena, and there is at least one more in there as well. Conrad Garrow is out. He was in the walls with Jamie Ambrose initially. So the two of them are now out of the race. This is absolute chaos at the moment. Machado leads. Gale second. Galimberti third. From Padani, Kwon, Setyawan. Then it is Warapong Yamchan from Teoh, Burke and Danish Chen. Big shuffles in the deck all the way through the field, and somehow Zadia Vraikal is all the way down to 16th. What a crazy race this is now, as the Malaysian is desperately trying to work his way back through the field. So now it's a big shuffle. Absolute squabbles into the chicane. As the drivers work through the S's under the bridge. Stay out of the wall, gentlemen. This is an absolute rout. Senior X30 really going at it. And I couldn't tell you the order until they crossed the line for the timing beacon again. It's changing every corner of every apex. There goes Kai Burke, looking for his move on the inside of Travis Teoh. Machado still leads Gale and Galimberti. Padani in P4. And the three of them are now really chasing down the pack. There's a challenge down into the braking zone as Kai Burke is trying to hold on from Setyavan and Warapong Yamchan. So there is Padani, close up behind the second place man Gale and the third place man Galimberti. Fireball could be on the podium here. Looking very good indeed for Stefano Padani. He really looks confident. And the Italian-Australian who resides in Abu Dhabi, now looking so good for performance here. It looks like Fireball may get a renaissance after all. Galimberti challenging Gale again as Padani closes in on the two of them. Round to the bridge. Machado leads the way, but he's dropping back significantly. Yellow flags. We've got more problems at the bridge. More problems on the way to the bridge. I'm trying to make out who that is. Two carts out. It's the 260, that's Baco. Baco Migasamiento collides with Leonardo Mori, and one of them's lost the wheel. One of them appears to have lost the wheel. Well, how is that? Because two of them have got going again. So one of them must be driving with only three wheels. That's unbelievable. So Leonardo Mori involved in the incident there with Baco Migos Sarmiento, but I saw a loose wheel and both of them recovered. So I think one of them is about to realize they've only got three wheels on their wagon. Machado, Gale, Galimberti, Padani. And Gale, Galimberti and Padani are all closing on the leader, Alex Machado. This win is wide open and it could go anybody's way. Zadia Vraikal, by the way, is all the way down to P16 now. The Malaysian, who was on the front row of the grid, really struggling and having a tough race of it. So Machado, Gale, Galimberti, Padani, Kwon, Teoh, Burke, Setyavan, Chen and Yukapo, the reigning champion, now in P10 ahead of Sito and Yamchan. 13 laps to go as the leader crosses the line. Machado only 0.4 of a second now ahead of Gale. Galimberti, Padani, Kwon and Teoh. Down to the braking zone for turn 3 again. Just keep it nice and balanced. You've got a little bit of time to close up on the Andorran who leads the way. But Stefano Padani is the man in the box seat here in 4th position. He can let the drivers in front have a battle and he can pick his moment. He's got a great chance to move up into the top 3. Machado, Gale, Galimberti and Padani. We've got the DRM Paralins of Machado and Galimberti, Toby Gale on the Birilat and Padani on the Fireball Kart Republic. To the S's, up to the hairpin under the bridge. Yellow flags flying. Looks like we've got some debris out on the circuit as somebody is out on the circuit, and a bitter amount of rage coming from the driver getting out of the car. That is Daniel Zhilinkov. So Daniel Zhilinkov is out of the race with a mechanical problem by the look of it. There he is, and he's absolutely enraged. So Daniel Zhilinkov out with 12 laps to go. Machado has got Toby Gale all over him now. That gap, which was almost a second, is now just a mere kart length. Toby Gale, the Thailand superstar, going after the man from Andorra, the 26-year-old Alex Machado. The oldest man in the Senior X30 field is the man who leads the way. Machado, Gale, Galimberti and Padani. Waits for the move. Toby Gale definitely rolling him up for it. But he's got to be tactical about when he goes for that overtake. 12 laps is what remains in this one. And you can't win it on the first of those. You can only lose it on the first of those. There's Padani. Working hard to try and get back on terms with the leaders. He's in a great position. P4, chasing down the top three, is a great place to be. Just keep the kart nice and careful. Be smooth on the tyres as well. If you're smooth and look after them, even if you lose a little bit of time to the top three, when they start scrapping, Badani is ready to go for it. Here comes Toby Gale, closes up and goes for the lead! Toby Gale storms through and gets the move on Alex Machado. So the Pattaya powerhouse moves into the lead, and here comes Galimberti. Galimberti into second place. The reigning junior champion is now second on his senior debut. What a run from the Italian stallion. Galimberti driving beautifully in this final. And now Padani fancies to go at Machado. Up to the inside line. Machado blocks him. No room in the end for Stefano Padani for now. But out in front, it is Toby Gale from Andrea Galimberti and Alex Machado. Padani still fancies his chances. Can he get him down the hill? No, he's going to wait. Padani being smart here. He'll wait for the final turn. He might get a chance. He's not going to get it this time, but he'll get him on the toe. Padani closing up on Machado. Down the straight, looking for the move. Padani really on it now, going after Machado. As he comes up to the inside line for the third corner, he waits. He decides to take it easy. Can still make good work of the tyres. Don't get it all done just yet. Look after the tyres, and the tyres will look after you. So Machado still protecting third place. Badani still in a good place in P4. This is really mature racing at the front end of the field. As Galimberti closes on Gale, Padani closes on Machado, and Teoh closes on Kwon. So Gale leads, but Galimberti is looking very hungry indeed. So we're still plenty of racing left in this one. Just under 10 laps remaining. Toby Gale up the hill. Galimberti chasing him down. Over the crest. Down the drop. Kiss the apex. Through the left. Hug the white line on the exit. Tighten it up for the final hairpin. Rotate the radius. Back on the power. Little kiss of curb if you need it. And back down the straightaway for Galimberti. Chasing down Gale. He's only 0.2 of a second back. Can the Italian catch him on the toe and find his way through on the end of the straight? No, he's too far back. Even Galimberti wouldn't try that one. We know that Andrea Galimberti has a reputation for being the last of the late breakers. But on that occasion, he knows that if you want to win senior, you can't just go trigger happy. You've got to take your time. So Gale and Galimberti still close together. Machado still has Padani for company. And Padani is driving a smooth race behind Machado. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Travis Teoh ahead of Kai Burke now. Then Setioban, Chen, Yukapo and Rafael Kamal. Great comeback again from Rafael Kamal. He's having a great race in the midfield. Sito, Casagrande, Yamchan, Marwa, Raikal, all the way down in 16th. What a miserable race in the end for the Malaysian star. But it looks as though we're going to get 5 different nations in the top 5 places for Thailand, for Italy, for Andorra, for Singapore and for Korea. But can Travis Teoh put the Malaysian flag on the top 5 positions? The clouds are coming in very quickly here and the wind is picking up. What if we get a rather nasty party pooper in the final 8 laps? The weather does look like it's on the turn. Certainly for the moment it's staying dry, and all the drivers want it to stay dry. On the inside line, a couple of drivers still trying a move or two in the midfield. We've got some good battles. Stefano Padani now being caught by Kwon Otak. So Kwon Otak is closing in a little now on Stefano Padani. The Korean is making a very good run of this now. And the ARL Karting Viralat driver wants to get himself into the top 4. Over the bridge, round the hairpin. There's the battle further back. But we can see that Galimberti is starting to struggle on tyres now. Gale has got an advantage. Galimberti slipping back a bit. Machado, Padani and Kwon. But Travis Teoh 6th from Burke, Setioban, Chen and Yukapo. So Gale, Galimberti and Machado are your top 3 for the moment. Padani, still hungry, but still very wise in 4th place. Not overdriving the kart at all. Keeping it nice and tidy. There's plenty still to go, but there's plenty still to prove. Gale, Galimberti, Machado, Kwon and Teoh. Further back in the pack, there's the 279 of Ethan Cito, running a smooth race. Oh, contact! Round goes the 299. That is Aidan Forbes, the youngest man in the field. So Aidan Forbes having a very tough race of it there. He's going to have a bit of a job to recover, but he's certainly learnt about Senior X30 the hard way. Up over the crest. And Gale, Galimberti, Machado, Badani and Kwon. Your top 5 still. We're waiting to see what the real deficit is going to be in the top 6. Gale still has 0.6 of a second on Galimberti, but that is pretty much the biting point. Galimberti can't afford to lose more time than that, because with 0.6 of a second deficit, that's the beginning of the slip of the toe. You can't really afford to lose more than that. Gale might not get challenged in this one. If he can extend another 0.2, then Galimberti will be too far back to pick up the toe. Realistically, you need to be within half a second to really get the benefit of that toe. It's what karting drivers like to refer to as human DRS when you get in behind the kart in front. 6 laps to go are about to become 5 laps to go. And for Toby Gale, only Andrea Galimberti has been able to hold a candle to him so far. Machado, Padani and Kwon Otak still in the mix for a podium. Top 5 competitors get a podium in this competition, of course. So Toby Gale, Galimberti, Machado, Padani and Kwon. 5 laps to go in the Senior X30 final. And it really is tough to know if these tyres will go the distance. We often see that it settles down into a rhythm, and then in the last 3 laps, suddenly the tyres start to make the difference. So Galimberti still hunts down Toby Gale. He's got the gap down to 0.4 of a second, so that's exactly what Galimberti needs to do. 0.4 of a second is within the toe, so Galimberti could get the chance on this lap, as Padani has got a big pressure cooker building now. He's got Machado just in front of him and Kwon Otak right behind. So Padani needs to make a move, but he's got to close up a little more on Machado. He may start to go for it up to the 3rd corner. They drop down, and now you really need to be accelerating through. Even on the last hairpin, you blip the throttle a little just to get that purchase. And now down the straight. Galimberti is half a second back from Gale. He's really strong in the 3rd sector, is Toby Gale. He's able to pull a little bit of ground over Galimberti, and so he keeps the favour with him. Padani, really close to Machado at the end of that straight, but he needs to have patience still. Those tyres are going to give him a little bit more, but only if he's smooth. Gale, Galimberti, Machado, Padani, Kwon and Teoh. A very solid run as Toby Gale and Andrea Galimberti are doing nothing at the moment but trading sector times as Badani is slipping into the clutches of Kwon Otak. And here comes Travis Teoh. He really wants to be on the podium for Malaysia in his home race. Top 5 will get it. Top 6 will be so near but so far. Down the drop. There's Toby Gale. Half a second was the gap. What's the gap as he comes through with 3 laps to go? As he crosses the line, he is currently 0.6 of a second ahead of Galimberti. It's looking good for Gale. If Galimberti remains that far back, then Toby Gale is looking safe. Machado still holds 3rd. There's not a lot he can do from here, except try and stay smooth and go for the podium. We've got 5 different nations on the podium right now, but in 6th place, Travis Teoh would dearly love to put the Malaysian flag in the top 5. So still they quest away. Teoh is right up close now to 1at the LYL. 1at the LYL is challenging Badani. And Machado is just driving so smooth, crisp and clear. The 26-year-old from the city of St. Julia, doing a grand job. Up the hill they go in the battle for fourth position. A couple of kart lengths behind Alex Machado, and we'll go into the final 2 laps. Stefano Badani still keeping it calm. No need to get aggravated at the moment. Galimberti took a long time looking over his shoulder. He wanted to see where the gap was, but the gap back to Gale is 0.8 of a second. It's looking undoable by Andrea Galimberti, but you cannot deny his incredible charge forward. Now Machado under some pressure and losing ground. He's lost 2, 3 places. No, that's Travis Teoh trying to get through. My apologies. The teammates in similar machinery in the glare of the sun was hard to tell who was who. So they pop down the straight again, and it's still as was. Teoh behind Kwon behind Badani behind Machado. Galimberti has done an amazing job as the reigning junior champion to now be second on the road in his first Senior X30 final. Nobody will deny how brilliant he's been to get up to P2 as the strongest of the juniors when it counts. But Toby Gale is so difficult to beat when he's on his A game. He looks back and he's got over a second now on Galimberti. That is game, that is set, but he's only 1 lap away from making it match point. Toby Gale, a second clear now of Galimberti. Machado, Badani, 1at the LYL and Travis Teoh scrapping over the rest of the spoils. One of them is going to be without a trophy. The others are going to get one. But out in front, Toby Gale is starting 2026 the way he means to go on. He could have been champion in 25. He knows that for sure. Missing the last 2 rounds while leading the point standings denied him the chance to be the 2025 champion. He was on form, he was on his A game. He knows that it's all up to him in 2026. He starts it the way he means to go on. He's strong in Thailand, now he's strong in Malaysia too. Toby Gale comes out of the final hairpin, and undeniably, Toby Gale wins the final in Malaysia. Galimberti a flamboyant second, and Machado third on his Asian debut from Badani and 1at the LYL. What a race, and what a drive from Toby Gale. A fantastic race from the end. It really was going to be Toby Gale's all the way. We could see that now, but the man from Pattaya is just getting started. In 8 weeks' time, he returns home to his local circuit at Bira that's been around as long as I have, celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. And wouldn't it be amazing if Toby Gale can carry this form and put a boy from Pattaya on the winner's dais in his home circuit's 40th anniversary. What a sensational weekend it's been for Toby Gale. He won all but one of the races this weekend, and Biralat Asia triumph against adversity. Never count them out. Michael Patrizi's boys always know how to do the dirty in the last race of the day. And with the firepower of Kai Burke and Toby Gale, they have done what is needed. Toby Gale, the winner, in fantastic fashion. And so Toby Gale ends the weekend as our 4th different winner across the finals. Victories for Mason Kwong, for Cruz Priolo, for Wirasakyam Chan, and now for our victor in Senior X30, Toby Gale. 50% of the victories today in the finals are taken by Thais. Excellent work. And we head to Pattaya with a winner in Master and Senior. Toby Gale is the victor in front of Andrea Galimberti and Alex Machado, Stefano Badani and 1at the LYL. Travis Teoh P6 from Kaiberg, Dominic Setyevan, Yuka Bo bounces back to the top 10 in front of Danish Chen. Rafael Kamal and Zach Casagrande, Ian Marwao a very solid 13th in front of Ethan Cito and Andy Barrett. Wadapeng Yamchan and Dylan Tan from Leonardo Mori, Xiaomo Xuan, Beiji Yuk in 20th. And then we have the run behind them from Zachary Boyson, Tianwen Chen, Melvin Shane, Pacomigo Sarmiento, Ryan Gunnar-Vordener, Mika Slavat, Aidan Forbes, James Lee, Thomas No, and then the retirements led by Conrad Garrow, rather sadly, along with Jamie Ambrose, Kwano Jun, Zadia Vrykal, Jenny Bibinet, Daniel Shilinkov, and Sera Kojima. Senior X30, a fascinating battle right the way through from the beginning of the weekend to the final. And so our 5 drivers to collect trophies. In 5th position for Malaysia, Travis Teoh. A very competitive weekend and a first Senior X30 international podium for Travis Teoh in 2026. In 4th position, representing Singapore, Stefano Badani. A fabulous weekend in his 1st position. My apologies, that's actually the 3rd position trophy. My apologies. Stefano Badani comes through for the 3rd position trophy. So Stefano Badani will be the 3rd spot on the podium. 4th position, representing Korea, Kwon Oh-tak. Apologies for the slight error in the order, but Kwon Oh-tak, the Korean, definitely deserving his position on the rostrum. In 2nd position, representing Andorra, Alex Machado. What a welcome to the Asian paddock for the man from St. Julia. Great performance. But your race winner for Thailand, Toby Gale. The Pattaya powerhouse returns in 2026 and goes straight to the top of the podium. In 8 weeks' time, he'll race again on home soil in Senior X30, and what a performance he's in for when he goes home. Ladies and gentlemen, there you are, your Senior X30 drivers in the top 5 positions, everyone gathering together on the main step of the podium. So, ladies and gentlemen, your top 5 drivers, Travis Teoh, Kwon Oh-tak, Stefano Badani, Alex Machado, and your race winner, Toby Gale. Congratulations, gentlemen. We'll see you either next week or in a month's time. That's it from all of us. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. Everyone